Okay, so today we're going to be discussing how we can beat imposter syndrome, as well as how we can improve and manage our emotions. So, over this next 12-week program, you are going to face different emotions. Doesn't matter how strong-willed you are, the fact that we're going from summer into autumn and then nearly into winter, our personalities, our motivation, and our discipline will change with the seasons. So let's look at what imposter syndrome is. So, imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where individuals doubt their accomplishments. So, over this time, as much as you're aware that you are on this plan and you're on this journey as an individual, you will still feel as though you're not doing better than others, even though they have nothing to do with your journey. This is what will start to creep in because it's something that we all deal with, imposter syndrome. It's also an uncomfortable feeling that you experience when you think that you're unqualified or that you're incompetent. So, if you're somebody that's come from a yo yo dieting background, then you will have failed several diets in the past because you just don't feel that you can continue with the journey because of whatever reason. So it could just be you don't feel that you're doing well, you don't feel that you're eating the right foods, you don't feel that you're training well, or you don't know how to train. So all these thoughts and emotions will start to creep in. And the thing that's most comfortable for you to do is to give up. So that's what you do. So over this 12-week period, there will come times where you feel as though you're running this race to get to your goal and you're feeling all motivated, all guns blazing. And then the next day you will feel like, I can't do it. I just can't do this. I'm not going to get to my goal. I haven't lost enough weight. My pictures all look the same. You're going to go through different emotions. Now, I'm not going to help you to not go through those emotions, but I'm going to help you to manage those emotions. So, a common sign of imposter syndrome is constant self doubt. You constantly doubt your efforts. So, some people choose to weigh every week. You will get to a week where you think, I just don't want to weigh. I just don't want to weigh this week because I don't actually feel that I've done well enough. So you will constantly doubt that. You will downplay your achievement. So you've got me as your coach, as the person supporting you, who will then big you up for your results, but you're still going to downplay your achievements and think, oh, but it's still not good enough. Oh, but I could have done better. So, common signs of imposter syndrome is you doubting your achievements, even though if you really look back at where you've come from, you know that it's still a good result, but you're still going to doubt that result. And that happens to all of us. Then you're going to fear failure. So I've set targets for you, what I know that you can achieve. But in your head, over this next 12 weeks, you're going to fear that you're going to fail. And the reason why you're going to feel that you're going to fear that you're going to fail is because you failed in the past. So if you failed in the past, the only thing you know is how to fail. You don't know how to succeed because if you knew how to succeed, you wouldn't have signed up to a coaching plan. So, what we need to do over these next 12 weeks is manage the emotions that you're going to go through. It's going to feel like a roller coaster of a ride. As you come out of summer into autumn, your cravings for food are going to change. Your motivation for working out is going to change. The dark nights are going to have an effect on whether you've got your steps in or not. What are you going to do? Are you going to do it in the morning? You're going to do it in the evening. So you're going to have this constant battle. But what you can't do is allow yourself to become mute. You can't allow yourself to come away from the support. So I know when a client starts to become mute when they no longer reply to my messages. That's because self doubt has crept in to the point where they now feel that they've let me down, even though I'm still reaching out to them. They feel like, oh, I haven't submitted my weight for 2 weeks. I haven't sent her my picture. I haven't logged in on the app. What's the point? I'm not going to answer. When I'm still reaching out to you, it means we still got work to do. So don't become mute. Don't feel that you're going to fail the plan if you haven't done X, Y, and Z, because I've already explained to you that you are going to go through these emotions. So we're going to learn how we manage them. And what I don't want you to do is overwork yourself to prove anything. So when I've set you a certain amount of programs or sessions or tasks, that's what I've set you according to your circumstances, your availability, and what you've got going on in your life. Don't start adding in workouts that I didn't give you. Don't start doing extra activity that I didn't ask you to do. If you can't fit it in, I didn't ask you to do it. So don't start doing that to try and get this result faster than what we've set. We've set a target that allows you to feel happy on your journey. You are going to become comfortable doing what I've set you because it's going to become the norm. If you start to overwork yourself, that's not something you can maintain long term, and that's not something I asked you to do. So if you stick to your task, stick to what's on the plan, and then you'll understand that this is the way forward going through your journey and beyond, and how to sustain it as a healthy habit. Now, in the chat box on your Zoom link, I just want you to write a chat to me saying what emotions you've experienced in the past that has made you stop on your journey. So not in this challenge, because we're literally only on week 2, but in the past, you will have experienced this imposter syndrome. What is it that makes you fail? So if you write that in the chat box, and then I'll be able to answer it, and it will help other people who watch this back. Do you know where your chat box is, Sharon or Coretta? Yeah. So if you just write in the chat box what it is that you've failed on in the past, or what it is that's kind of played on your emotions in the past.
You want me to? Do you want us to do it now?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's yes, please.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, because I can answer it in the video.
That's a little, but yeah, okay. So what I've failed on in the past.
Yeah, so what is it when it comes to imposter syndrome that really is your kind of nemesis? What is it that plays on you? Is it because you try to overdo it and get a result too fast? Is it because you fear that you're going to fail, so you just think, forget it, I'm just going to give up? There's always something as to the cause of why we stop doing what we're doing. So I'll leave you to carry on. So when it comes to our emotions, then the different type of emotions that you're going to face are anxiety, frustration, low self-esteem, and stress. So these are all different emotions that you will feel more than others, but there is going to come a time in the 12 weeks where you'll feel all of them, some more than others. Now, when it comes to anxiety, why I don't really kind of home in on way, because I know how much mental stress weighing can have on people. Whereas photos, I will always see a change. If I haven't seen a change in a picture, we can always look back on your plan and address what really is going on, what have you eaten, what have you had. But there's always going to be more motivation on your point, seeing yourself look different, than there is seeing half a pound drop off. If half a pound dropped off the scales, you're going to feel like, oh, all that work for nothing. Whereas if half a pound dropped off the scales, but your back roll reduced, you'd feel amazing. Yeah. So you're always going to have this anxiety on a Sunday or a Monday about weigh day. So some people choose not to weigh, and they help themselves to eliminate this anxiety. If the most anxiety that comes from you is from weighing, eliminate it. If your anxiety is from something else, then we address what that is and we see what we can swap instead. You're going to have frustration. Some people become frustrated, especially my clients who train in a gym. Some people become frustrated that they're on the same weight. Should I not be getting heavier by now? Well, no, not if you can't lift heavier. But what you can do is you can monitor if your tempo is on point. So if I've asked you to hold your squat for 3 seconds, and I'm talking big Ben time, not your time, is it really 3 seconds? Or do you feel like I'm too quick in my squat? So instead of focusing on, oh, I'm not lifting any more weight in my squat, start to focus on, am I improving my tempo in my squat? Do I feel less out of breath when I'm doing my exercise than I was 3 weeks ago? Rather than focusing on the things that you're not achieving and then worrying about them, focus more on what you can change. We can't change a weight. If we can't lift heavier, we can't lift heavier no matter what. However, we can try to pause longer. We can try to contract our abs better. So all the things that you have control over, do those things, and that will lessen your frustration. And then low self-esteem. Some people do not want to send me their photo. They're not even happy with how they look. So they're thinking, why do I want to send you my photo? I don't even like how I look. And you'll get to certain weeks where you will like how you look, but then come weigh day, you're bloated. And it happens to all of us. So then we go, I'm not going to send my pictures today, Rach, time of the month. Or I'm not going to send my pictures today, Rach, because I'm bloated. We have to do it. It's part of your contract. We have to do it. When you start to tell yourself what you don't want to do because it suits you, it's you really copping out because you don't want to look at yourself differently. It's a cop out. There's days where I don't want to take my picture because I'm bloated. I got IBS. I eat the wrong thing and I look pregnant. It's life. We got to do it. So we have to get to this point where no matter what, we do what we need to do and we combat this low self-esteem. And stress. Stress is something that we can bring on ourselves, and stress is something that can be brought upon us. But whatever stress you can control, control it. Yeah. So if your job is 9 to 5 and nobody from work expects you to log in on emails and start doing work after work, then don't do it because they didn't expect that of you. If it's part of your contract that you go home and you do a bit more, that's different. But if work finishes at 5, work finishes at 5. Yeah. So don't add stress that's unnecessary. So throughout these 12 weeks, you want to make sure that you've been able to complete what you're supposed to complete, and it's not adding on top of things that you're adding on. When we had a consultation, you told me what you could do, and I fitted it in around what you could do. So don't add more of things into your life that do not need to be added, because then you'll just be like, I can't fit it in. I can't do my tasks. I can't do anything. I can't do this. Don't add in any extra stress. So if you were to look at these 4 emojis or emotions, which emotion would you say you feel more of when you know that you're at a point where you feel like giving up? What's the main emotion that you experience the most? If you write that in the chat. So just going, while you're writing that in the chat, I'm just going back to this answer here from Sharon. The reason why sometimes she feels that she'll come off her journey is because she'll become demotivated quickly if she doesn't lose weight quickly. Now, everything that we have done in order to put ourselves where we are today. So if you're somebody who's 2 stone overweight, 3 stone overweight, 5 stone overweight, how long did it take to gain this weight? It took quite a long time.
Years. Yeah.
Took quite a long time.
Yeah.
So when we want weight loss, we want it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you sat down and ate a slice of cake and it gained the weight faster than what you would want your weight loss to come off, would you be happy? Would you be happy to eat a slice of cake and tomorrow you was 2 pounds heavier?
No.
No? But you want to lose 2 pounds tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
So you have to see that the weight gain is as long as the weight loss. So if it took you 5 years to gain 5 stone, no, it's not going to take 5 years to lose it, because we're going to put strategy and structure in place. But you are not going to lose 10 pounds in 7 days unless you starved yourself and sat in a sauna for 2 hours a day and lost water and muscle mass. Yeah. So if you want to compete on stage and be a certain weight for the competition, then you'll need to reduce your calories and go into a sauna in order to really dehydrate the body from water retention so that the scales tell you what you want. But you know that you really haven't lost 10 pounds of fat. So when we lose £10, we want to look like we've lost £10. Yeah. So if you stepped on the scales after a week of being on this program and lost £6, but you felt like you looked the same, what's the point in that?
Mm.
You want to look like you've lost £6 so that somebody turns around to you and goes, oh, have you lost a bit of weight? They're not going to say to you in a week, have you lost a bit of weight? But you want the scales to say that you've lost a stone. You want more of the visual appearance of losing weight than the scales. And that's what I need you to start focusing on more of is my top's feeling loose. My night dress is feeling better. My trousers are feeling better. That's what I want the focus to be more on so that you don't then allow this to let you fall off track. Okay. So the emotions that you're feeling more of is frustration. So if you're feeling more frustration, Coretta, just tell me what it is that frustrates you. Oh, she could be on mute.
Oh, sorry, I'm mute. Sorry.
That's all right. What is it that you would say frustrates you when you're not seeing a result?
What frustrates me?
Yeah. So you're on a journey for about 3 months and you fall off you fall off plan. But why is it that you fall off plan? What frustrates you?
That I look in the mirror and I think that I look the same. So I think, what's the point?
Okay. Now, would you say before joining my program that you wasn't religiously taking photos previously?
No, I wasn't. Definitely not.
So you're somebody who sends me a picture every single Sunday. And every single Sunday, I collage your picture and send it back to you. And what do you say?
Oh my God, look at that. But I feel like, yeah.
Every single Sunday, you send me a picture and you see that there's a difference every single Sunday. But before then, the reason you stopped your journey is because you didn't feel any different. So the mirror, because of body dysphoria and what your mind is telling you, you're not going to see in the mirror what changes have taken place because you've already built up body dysphoria mentality. Whereas somebody collages a photo and sends it back to you and you're like, well, I can't deny it. I can see the difference. I can't deny it. Looking at yourself in a reflection, back and forth, you don't see no change because you can't compare it with last week. Yeah. So we need to look at ways that we can measure that are things that would have usually took us off track, which now are the things that are helping us to stay on track. So Sharon's is low self-esteem. So when it comes to low self-esteem, Sharon, in what aspect do you feel this low self-esteem?
I've been on a diet for 40 years and I'm still overweight.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I just think, I think they all work if you stick to them.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I can't seem to stick to a healthy eating plan. And it's not even a diet, it's just eating healthily and controlling the portion size. So I think for that, I must have low self-esteem, which is why I don't probably, maybe half of me thinks I don't deserve to be slim and healthy. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's a mental battle. But now that you feel that you're getting more active, would you say that that's helping you to choose wiser because you feel like I've done all this work, I've done an effort to put my shoes on and come out the house and go for a walk. Why would I want to ruin this?
Yeah, I mean, I started off just walking a mile a day. And today I went away for a few days, so I've just come back. But today I walked up the stairs and I wasn't out of breath. And that I've not been that way for probably 2 or 3 years because I've got a problem with my lungs. And so, and I walked up the stairs, I got to the top and I went, oh, I'm not breathing heavy.
See,
just
that is a win.
But I just thought, wow.
That is a win. That's what I'm trying to say. All these things that you're forgetting that are helping you is the things that you need to remember. That's why we journal. We journal our week. We fill in our check-in form because our check-in form helps us to go, oh, last week I didn't do that, but this week I did. So we journal all the time. So next slide. It has an impact on our relationships, whether you're married, whether you have just friendship circles or family circles. When you're not happy mentally, it will impact on your relationship. So if you're somebody who is learning at home, study at school or at work, you have something niggling in your mind about your weight or your mental health state. Is that going to have an impact on your study? Of course it will. So when we start to think about the effects that this imposter syndrome has on us, it actually affects our day-to-day life. So it reduces your self-confidence levels, and we need confidence in nearly every aspect of our life. We need confidence to walk into a new building. We need confidence to walk into a supermarket. You just need confidence. And therefore, you also need to avoid challenges. So if challenges are something that you can't commit to something, don't add it in to your day. Don't add in something that you know is going to hinder your performance, or it's going to hinder your kind of result. But what you don't want to do is avoid things that you can actually commit to. So there are some people who, because of such low self-esteem, they say no to absolutely everything. They say no to everything. They don't want to take on a new role at work. They don't feel good enough. They don't want to take on this new challenge of, health. They don't feel good enough. I'm going to fail. So there's some challenges where we think, oh, it's going to get in the way, so I'm not really going to take that on. But then there's other challenges where you have to take it on to become better. So you don't want to hinder yourself from progressing because of this confidence, but this is what imposter syndrome does. So we need to obviously look at ways that we can manage that so it doesn't affect our relationships. Now, the strategies that we use to combat that is we set a goal. So if you wake up on a Monday morning before even starting a coaching plan and just say, oh, I'm going to start a diet this week. What's your weekly goal for this diet? So even if in 4 months' time you go into a wedding, in 4 months' time, what do you want your dress size to be? How much weight do you want to have lost? How many workouts are you going to plan for your week to get to this 4-month goal? What foods are you going to eat? I bet you don't go through any of that. You just go, oh, someone's invited me to a wedding in October. I've got to lose weight. That's your goal. I've got to lose weight. You haven't even strategized how you're going to do this. You're just like, I've got to lose weight. So now that you're on a coaching plan, we've gone through a whole structure of how you're going to get this weight off for the next 12 weeks. We're going to set a goal. We're going to make a plan. We're going to get to work. We're going to stick to it, and we're going to reach the goal. That doesn't mean your end goal. That means your 12-week goal on this plan. So there is a structure. So with every task that you tick off between day 1 to week 12, do you not think you will have made a change? Absolutely. So you need to reflect and look at your daily wins before you start thinking about falling off the wagon, going silence on me, having all these emotions play on your mind. Go back on your calendar, scroll through it and go, look at all them ticks that I've had off in September. Oh, I went from 3,000 steps to 8,000 steps in 6 weeks. Oh, you look back at your daily wins and you reflect. You seek support. You don't go mute. I've had clients lose 13 stone in 16 months. Do you think they went mute? Or do you think they just stuck to the plan, and every time they had a dip, they allowed me to pick them back up out of the dip? Yeah. So when I'm texting you or when I'm messaging you and you silence me, you think about the effort that I'm putting into you because I want your result more than you do. So don't go silent on me because I'm here for you to get to your goal. So we set realistic goals and we stay away from overachieving and overworking. I'll give you 5 sessions, don't do 7. I'll give you 3 sessions, don't do 5. Do what I've given you. Then when we have our next consult and our catch up on video, you tell me if you want me to add one on. Don't add one on unless I've given it you. Yeah. And then we celebrate achievements. We celebrate wins all the time. So this is what helps you to stay focused and manage these emotions. So when I go through different emotions, I have to take pride in the fact that I'm always staying on track to be accountable for my clients. So there's some days where I'm just like, oh, I feel a bit blur. But then I think, mate, you've maintained your weight for the last 12 years. You know, put your hands up.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been overweight for 12 years. So I'm doing something right. So there's times where you just have to go, actually, do you know what? I've achieved this, and big yourself up. Okay. And then the next slide is, how do we manage our emotions? Do you know how we do it? We relax. We do something we enjoy. We go to a spa. We go on holiday. We take time out. We read. We cycle. We do whatever it is that allows us to feel that that's our therapy. So whatever your therapy is, you take time out to do that. Then you journal on a Sunday. You think, how could I do better this week? And that's in your check-in form. Your check-in form asks you the question, what can I do next week that I didn't do last week? That's a part of journaling, because it's helping you to see the difference that you can make for next week. And if it means that you have to talk to someone close, a confidant, a therapist, whatever it is to manage your mental health, that's what you have to do. So you have 12 weeks to level up your emotions, and you take the steps to be 1% better every day. Every single day, you become 1% better. Yeah. And that's how we're going to go through this next 12-week challenge, because nobody's going to go through this plain sailing with their emotions. But if you stick to the plan, stick to the process, you'll go through it plain sailing with your physical health. So that's the end of the